And so I'm looking on the side of Elevate here for some of the things they've done in the beginning of these respawn game modes. They've had very interesting opening plays and everything, right? They've had some crazy, like starting off with a sniper and a thermal and some smokes, right? Just winning those opening engagements.
Right.
Sometimes they'll actually have Zed start off with an ERAT or something and just hit a nice route that he knows is going to be favorable for a submachine gun player. Some of these have paid off in a big way. Some of them they haven't really been able to follow up on that advantage they set for themselves. But I'm looking to see if they've done their homework as to what Optic Gaming start looks like, and maybe they can counter strat here, because I think that Elevate's coach has to be contributing in some way right now for them in this losers bracket moment.
Right, to kind of let them know exactly what Optic strategies are kind of coming into this game. And of course, what we talked about back in Black Ops 3 was the issue with kind of Optic's strategy toward the end of Black Ops 3, and the hard point was the fact that they didn't really rotate effectively. They thought that they could get the slaying done. They could consistently slay out their opponents, and the rotation will come later. We can break that as a team. Well, so far in MLG Vegas, that hasn't really worked out for them. They've kind of struggled, of course, in the losers bracket along with many other teams. I was looking at the losers bracket earlier, and I was like, all these teams in the losers? Like, we got Envious, we got Luminosity, we got E6, who was destroying earlier. We got so many teams, including Optic themselves, who were in this losers bracket. It is set to be an incredible day of Call of Duty here for Championship Sunday, but this is the map where Optic Gaming can potentially close it out. I got to ask for your predictions, Fox. Do you think we see Elevate force a Game 5, or does Optic Gaming rally and close this one out here?
I think Optic Gaming wakes up and they close this out here. They're working with that disappointment from COD Champs of getting knocked out and placing 7th 2 times in a row, right? They don't want to go out the same way here. That would be devastating for the team. They understand how much this tournament means to them, and they're not going to let the pressure weigh them down. They're going to use it as motivation and take over this map.
They are, and of course, when it comes down to first map, you can guarantee Nade City as trophies, and really just about everything else as far as utility is concerned is going to be used. Of course, you mentioned the ERAT strategy is already coming out. Shawnee ends up dropping here off the start. Zed, the main slayer for Elevate, the man who has been Mr. Consistent so far, starts off with 3 kills, but ends up dropping shortly after. So a heavily contested hill. Watson going to be on the flank, so we can potentially get a nice break here from the side of Elevate, but someone's watching that. That's going to be, I believe, Scump and Crimsix who locked that one down, as Optic are out to a small advantage here.
Formal in position with the K-bar, but he gets stopped short there by Reedy, who's able to take over. No one able to engage him just yet. Zed's going to take point, though, as we rotate over to Turbine. Gets caught by the player in Drill. 2 kills going in favor of Optic Gaming. Looks like Karma's going to be the one to check Warehouse and Wall. Wow, turns on Shawnee, shutting him down. A little bit of competition going on mid-map for that scrap time. It looks like Elevate's going to come out on top with it, though. So now we have pretty much a tied game, but that rotation comes in favor of Optic Gaming. Even though we have Crimsix kind of far out on the opposite side of the map, there's still going to be this predictable double wall run hit from Elevate on this side. They know that's where they have to come from. The Scarab, though, is going to be their first line of defense. And this is actually really good. This is a really good zoning tool for them right now.
When we talk about a map like Scorch's Fall, Turbine can, without a question, be, in some cases, your money hill. If you lock down both angles correctly, you can easily start to stack up the points. Optic said, all right, Elevate, you guys can have the scrap points. We'll try to take it forward as Karma ends up dropping from the side. Reedy able to get 2 from the corner, so a nice little break there as Elevate's able to distract 1. Reedy continuing to go on a little bit of a spree. He ends up dropping, but Zed, the one man that Optic doesn't really want to face right now, currently holding and residing in that hill. Player just above him. I believe that's actually going to be Scump, trying to linger around as it looks like he will be on the rotation potentially to try and shut down these last 2 players. Of course, 10 seconds left to fight for big points. If you are either team, it looks like Scump's going to win that battle as Optic this time are able to get the scrap points.
So Scump's actually going to opt to sit here for the full amount of scrap time here. And if his teammates fail to hold the setup on this rotation, then that could force them to spawn out pretty far. Luckily for them, Optic Gaming, they're not really known for losing important gunfights. So they're going to be able to hold this one down, and Scump's going to be able to rotate over and set up with them. So now they know that the push from Elevate has to be coming from a middle map area or Moon, which is why Foremost don't want him watching that flank. Karma can just sit here uncontested for a little while because he knows exactly where he has to pre-aim. Scump just came from hallway.
Talk about the strategies right now. Of course, both line sides being watched. Of course, the flank, that side building coming from middle, that side window, excuse me, and also through that hallway side. Optic completely locking this one down. Scump off to a hot start. We said, well, is he going to improve? Well, now he's 10-3. He's proving many wrong who are watching this potentially at home. He's saying he could be the major factor for this Optic Gaming side. Still holding strong as Elevate might even just go and set up on the rotations. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're ready over here in Drill, as they'll allow Optic to get these scrap points yet again for the second hill in a row. Scump holding it down. He already nearly has a minute in the hill. Kamran does as well, and a nice break there coming in from Zed, as he's able to find 2. Is in the middle of a reload, but it seems that looking down and trying to hold on, Elevate try to bring this one back as they're locking this one down pretty effectively.
Yeah, lots of unanswered time there in that hangar hard point, so you got to wonder if Elevate's early rotation here is going to try and make up for that mistake. Here comes the Optic Gaming push. First, wave of engagements go down. Even trade on both sides, 2 kills. That's still going to leave Elevate in control of the hard point, though. Now we're seeing score streaks come in onto Shawnee. He hears it coming in, so he's going to get aggressive and try and find himself a kill. He does so, but he's traded. Again, efficient trading going back here. No one's really getting the lead over the other, except actually Elevate is, because they're still mounting up the objective time, but in terms of kills, it's even.
It absolutely is, and we talk about the, yet again, performance from Watson, 3 and 12. This has just not been his last few days. Like I said, we talked about his entire performance here at MLG Vegas. Just it really has been average. I mean, less than average. I mean, it's been kind of subpar in a sense, and maybe has been kind of holding the side of Elevate back. You'd imagine if he had a big performance.
Is the word you're looking for bad?
Yeah, I guess you could say bad, yeah. But I mean, you can imagine. I mean, if he was going the exact same score that Shawnee was, or even just maybe around the 8-10 kill margin. I mean, this game could be so different. They're only down by 13 seconds, and yet Watson is currently 4 and 12. He's triple neg, and now he's left to try to hold the backside as he'll end up getting dropped yet again. The interesting strategy coming in there from Elevate to try to pinch that one out, but Optic is able to sniff that one through, or sniff that one out as they try to rally through. And are up 130-98.
Really what it's looking like right now is that Elevate just can't break Optic setup. I mean, even when Scump was on the opposite side of the map and killing Zed on the hill to get the scrap time, Elevate's 4 versus 3 push on them when they had the hangar set up wasn't successful, and then Optic just pretty much just held the full 60 there. When they get on the hard point, they know where to pre-aim. Everyone is calling out exactly what lane they're watching, who has what flank. You know, they're able to hold everything efficiently, and even if they win these gunfights, Optic should just be able to break it right back.
Of course, rotations are what is on everyone's mind. Zed coming through that side alley. Might actually try to go here through material processing. A long call out, but hey, he's able to try to make it work. Just to his right now, able to find a new one. Player just was
a scientific name for the call.
It is, but Rock the Rewind to try to challenge as a team. But it seems that Formal is able to get both of them. That's a huge 2-piece killer coming in from him. He's going to try to rock the streak to maybe find someone. That's going to be a big kill there over on Watson yet again. He does drop, and it seems that Elevate finally do get some points. And it seems that much needed time here. They try to bring this one back. Okay,
so here's the push coming in from Optic Gaming. Expect them to try and send 2 on that double wall run, lower and higher, following Scump's score streaks. But it looks like they're going to get killed a little bit more than they expected to. Watson's going to be able to find Formal, and Reedy catches Karma. So it's not working out for them. They all attack from one side following those score streaks. And it didn't really work out for them. I mean, Elevate's just set up really well for this kill, and they're coming back into this game.
So the Shawnee needs to win this gunfight. He's able to make it happen. So a 1 versus 1 will grant the side of Elevate 15 more seconds. As I believe they will might actually be a tie game here after this rotation does come through.
It's a really sloppy attempt on the break there from Optic.
Yeah, it definitely was, but it seems that Elevate will be awarded that. It looks like an early rotation as they want to kind of settle here forward. Reedy is going to rock that overdrive, but he ends up dropping in place of it, so tries to go through hallway. It doesn't work out for him in the end. And Watson and they're trying to stay up, but Optic Gaming able to get a nice 3 down, I believe 4 down total when you looked at it, but Optic still holding strong. It seems that every rotation, Optic just absolutely breaks the setup and Elevate. And seems that Elevate, you know, when they can get a few down, they can try to rotate forward, try to get inside the hill. But realistically, they're only being granted scrap points here and there.
So this is the hard point that Optic was able to hold so efficiently last time when they got nearly a full 60. Unanswered, uncontested. Elevate just couldn't get in there. Everyone was in position and watching the cuts they needed to watch. And it looks like that's happening again here. Crimson's able to go off, find himself on a 4 streak before finally being taken down. And now we're seeing some pressure come in from Elevate. Scump, though, is still in position. He has trophy systems to work with to block some of that utility from Elevate. And then as well as if he's snapping on people like that with the OSA, it's going to be pretty difficult to stop. So now all of Elevate spawns out. Another full 60 coming in from Optic, and we rotate back over to Drill.
Look to see a big performance from Zed when it comes down to the clutch factor of the Elevate side rotation coming into Drill. Trying to watch to that right side. It looks like 2 of his teammates actually fall. Karma finds 1, actually finds 2. Scump finds the 3rd, and now Watson's left. Yet again, the player who's kind of holding the backside is going to have to wait for his teammates to get a clean break. And now Optic Gaming is getting a lot of free points. Elevate, every time they try to get a team push, it seems that Watson's left in the back, and while he's waiting for his teammates to push forward, he ends up dropping himself. So constant 3v4, 2v4 pushes as Optic seems to be winning those, and Scump is up 26-11. We talked about him being double negative in that first hard point. Well, now he's double positive and tries to find that kill there. Uses the reactive armor, but nothing comes of it. But it seems that it's going to grant Optic a few more seconds as they only need about 30 more to close this one out.
So we take a look at our scoreboard here. You can see that 3 of the 4 players of Optic Gaming are well on their way to getting their payload. Scump just used his, and he was able to find a Warden previously to using it. They're 20 seconds away from closing this game out. that's the end of the game. There's no way that Optic's going to choke that big of an advantage with this little amount of time here. But let's give some attention to the Elevate boys and see if they can do the impossible. 3 players fall though. Zed's the last man alive and he gets shut down. That's Crimsix in position and in control. 14 seconds remaining. It looks like Optic Gaming might be able to close this one out. Home field advantage. You hear the fans shouting and screaming in their favor. And again, they're holding down middle map just so damn well. Elevate can't respond. They're getting a few kills here and there. However, Optic is keeping the objective pressure up. Formal, another multi-kill, 5 seconds, 4, and we have 30 seconds left on the hill. Elevate's in control, though. Shawnee's 2-piece really swaying it in their favor, and now we see the contestant coming in. Formal pops the overdrive, attempting to hit a flank. Scump calls on the streaks. He team kills, but the 2 dead. That should be game. Optic Gaming just a few seconds away from closing it out. The pressure's still coming in, but it looks like it's going to be a failed effort here as they're 1 second away with plenty of opportunities to get it. That's game.
That's it. Optic Gaming will be able to close this one out, winning 3 games straight. They win this game number 4, 250 to 174, and take this series versus Elevate in a 3-1 fashion. It was a valiant effort from the side of Elevate. Definitely made Team EU proud. But unfortunately for them, that's going to do it for their run here at MLG Vegas, and Optic Gaming still trying to hold on to make that loser's bracket run.
And it looked like it was starting off like it could have been a highly competitive, like
absolutely,
Game 5 potential type thing. But I feel like the score, I thought the score would have ended like much steeper than what it was from what we were looking on the perspectives on the side of Optic Gaming. They really just looked like they had it down. They had it figured out. The only thing that was keeping Elevate in the game were some of these explosive moments out of the likes of Zed and Shawnee, and occasionally Reedy. Reedy was certainly contributing. So they just weren't able to consistently